Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know
Group.
what time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music
You know what
Group.
time it is? This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now. Lock in. Let's go. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas. Real street, man, we watching Maas. Real street, man, we call on Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
This is Conversations with Maas.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? It's with my spiel. And it's Thursday. One day from the weekend. And I'm glad that we are here tonight. Before we go further, we got to give thanks to God for allowing us to live today, another sunrise, another sunset.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
And another day, another chance to love on the people we cherish. With that being said, let's get started. Hope everybody had a great Thursday. It is getting cold. Here in Cincinnati, it's in the 50s today. And the city was bubbling with excitement as Thursday night football came to town today. And the Reds are, the Bengals are losing 10-0. And Tuesday we did a show called We Are the Best, where basically I was tired of the negative excuse me, all of the negative coverage that Black people have been receiving over the last 2 or 3 months. And I just wanted to point out how black people contributed to the United States. Now, I didn't know that I was going to lose 6 subscribers because I just wanted to big up black people. Man, come on, people. Because I big up black people, y'all unsubscribe my page. Come on now. Come on now. We can't be that thin skinned. Just because you're bigging up your people doesn't mean you're putting down anybody else. With all the negative coverage that black people receive, I just wanted to do something different. So I guess I got under some people's nerves. But hey, it happens. I'll get those subscribers back. I'll get new subscribers. But tonight's show, lines crossed. Sports, politics, and black voices. Now, you know, every now and then we get one of those weeks where the line between sports, politics, and the black experience just dissolves. Everybody's got an opinion, but nobody wants to talk about the pattern behind it. And you all see the thumbnail. You all see the thumbnail. Shouts out to everybody watching on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and the Freak TV. And last but not least, most definitely, the MA family and everybody that's right here tuning in on YouTube. We're going to start with Stephen A. Smith, the self-proclaimed voice of black sports media. And this week, Stephen A. found himself in 2 different storms. First, we had Serena Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian, who basically went on First Take, Stephen A. show, while Stephen A. was working outside of the studio. Alex Ohanian went onto the show and basically G-checked Stephen A. for trolling his wife, speaking on his wife. And I have that video. We're going to talk about it. But Alex Ohanian went on Stephen A.'s show and G-checked him. He stood 10 toes down for his wife. And what did Stephen A. do, Mr. Loudmouth himself? He folded like laundry. Hey, Camille. He folded like laundry. Polite tone, head down, all smiles, while basically Alex Ohanian told him, keep my wife's name out your mouth, without the smacks. But we don't know what Alexis would have done had Stephen A. been in the studio, because he told him, I wish you were in the studio so I could tell you this face to face. And Stephen A. had a very, very conciliatory tone. Unlike when it came to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Stephen A.'s whole tone changed. He said that Jasmine Crockett was loud, brash, and that her style was for the streets. And that the only thing she did was talk loud about President Trump and just be a loudmouth. This was what Stephen A. said. Now, to me, he crossed the line there when he said that she was for the streets and she was a loudmouth. Because the same energy that he had for Alexis Ohanian he should have had for Jasmine Crockett. But no, he softened his stance for the white billionaire and then amplified his voice for a black woman in power. That's a pattern. Black men and women, especially the outspoken ones, get branded loud, angry, emotional, and unprofessional. And the louder we speak, the more the world tells us to quiet down. Like those 7 people who unsubscribed to my page because of my last show. Yeah. The world wants us to be quiet. Meanwhile, those same traits are called passionate and authentic for others. And then you have Stephen Jackson, who came out in support of Jasmine Crockett when he said, Stephen A., you're tough on us, but you're careful with others. And maybe that's what's really happening now. Some of us forget who we're really talking to. We start performing for the comfort of the room instead of the conviction of truth. Yeah, y'all know Steppy Fetchit. Skinning and grinning, smiling, cheesing, showing all your teeth. Y'all know what we're talking about. Now, we're going to slide over to Shedeur Sanders. Deion Sanders' son, who was an All-American at Colorado. He was projected to be the second quarterback taken in the draft. He was supposed to be a top 3 pick in the draft. And for some unknown reason, we still don't know, Shedeur slid to the 5th round. And there was a quarterback drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 3rd round, Dillon Gabriel, who was not even projected to go nowhere near the 3rd round. And Shedeur's treatment while he's been in Cleveland has been, I guess you could say, cordial. His coach really doesn't. You can tell that the coach was put in a position where he wanted Dillon Gabriel. He didn't want Shedeur Sanders, even when everybody can see that Shedeur Sanders is better than Dillon Gabriel. You know, it's an observation. It's an observation, but you can see. I mean, Dillon Gabriel, don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but he is a game manager. He's not a game changer. He's a game manager. And numerous people inside football, outside football, have been asking, when is Shedeur going to play? When it first happened where Shedeur fell to the 5th round, I came out and said that they tried to buck break Shedeur Sanders, and I still believe that. There's no way that Shedeur Sanders should be 3rd string. And then the coach didn't even want to come out and name him the backup when Joe Flacco was traded. But he's taken the high road. He's been quiet. And a lot of people are upset with Cleveland, especially the fans in Cleveland, because Shedeur Sanders has the number 1 selling jersey of all rookies. I think he made somewhere north of $15 million off of the sales of his jersey. Excuse me. Yeah, he made $15 million, and the NFL was not too happy about that. And we're gonna look at that. We're going to look at how the black quarterback has to do 2 times more than everyone else to get a chance. And then this is kind of an outlier, but I saw this article today when I was working on the show. And basically it said that some black folks are publicly supporting Trump's so-called city takeovers. I want you to sit with that. And these people are saying that Donald Trump is doing what the Democrats want. And that's the argument. Who is for the people? They see federal intervention as a reset, a cleanup of crime, corruption, and chaos in black democratic cities. But I have to ask, at what cost? Because every time America talks about taking back a city, it ain't just buildings they seize, it's power. And history has shown us when the government takes control, the people lose voice. Now I get it. Those people that are siding with Donald Trump in his city takeover, they're frustrated. These people, they want to fix the broken schools in their neighborhoods, the bad streets, and the leadership in those cities that does more talking than delivering on the things they say. But trading local control for federal occupation, that's not empowerment. That's dependency dressed up as discipline. We've seen this play before. Same movie, different cast. And the question ain't whether Trump's city takeovers will work. It's who they'll work for. So when I look back on this week, Stephen A. Smith, Shedeur Sanders, Trump's city push, it's all connected. It's all about power, narrative, and who gets to define the black voice. When we speak loud, they tell us to hush. When we win too much, they call it arrogance. And when we challenge the system, they call it chaos. But here's the truth, family. Every time we break their mold, we remind them that our voices don't fit neatly in their boxes. We don't need permission to be bold, emotional, opinionated, or political. We've been all that since day one. So tonight, I'm not asking who's right or who's wrong. I'm asking who's allowed to speak and who gets silenced once they do. Because until we answer that, every line we keep getting crossed, it will always be ours that they erase first. You tuned in to Adult Conversation with Maas, so let's get it. Let's get it, y'all. Let's talk about these things. Let's talk about it. Today was a rough day. I know it. Yeah, I'm tired, y'all. But the show must go on. The show must go on. Shouts out to everybody watching on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. But Facebook and Instagram, I need you all to come over to YouTube and join the conversation. When you come in, hit the like button. With that being said, come on through Facebook and Instagram. The Bengals have scored, so it's 10-7 now, and it looks like they're about to score again and take the lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers, Squealers. Sorry, but let's get into it. I'm gonna play the video of Serena Williams' husband on First Take, which is Stephen A's show. And if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna let you all see it. Stephen A getting G-checked on his show.
Well, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
Well, you know what? Listen. I did it. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I
was hoping you were. I was hoping you were going to be here.
No. I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No. See. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build
That's a little skirt that girl got on.
And the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
But
so I generally try to stay in my lane as advice.
Then we'll talk marriage advice later. I'm running 13 years strong. We got
deal.
Alexis, thank you so much. Atlas NYC 2-night event.
Look at Stephen A's face, y'all.
Incredible.
Look at Stephen A's face. He just got G-checked on his own show. I wonder if he knew that Alex Ohanian was going to be on there.
Can't wait to watch.
Look at Stephen A's face, y'all.
Appreciate you, Alexis.
Okay, so as we can see Stephen A.
Look at Stephen A's face. Look at Stephen A's face. He just got G-checked. And the Bengals just scored. They are ahead of the Schittsburg Squealers, 13-10 at this point. They haven't kicked the extra point yet. Look at Stephen A's face. That's a face of, I got G-checked on my show. But when you speak on people's wives, sometimes you get G-checked. But he was very, very conciliatory. No brashness.
And her husband said it flat out.
No brashness. No, none of that. Just conciliatory, puppy dog face. That's what happens when you get G-checked. You can't speak on people's wives and expect no one to say anything. Ask Chris Rock. I don't 100% agree with what Will Smith did, but you say something about somebody's wife, there's repercussions. Some worse than others. Now, Steven Jackson, retired NBA great. Steve Jackson. He has a podcast of his own with I can't think of the guy's name, but yeah, Steven Jackson. And this was his response to Stephen A. about how he was G-checked on his show.
You get loud and all in your feelings about Braun. When Braun, he talking to a black billionaire, but when you talking to a white billionaire, you humble. And you come back on your show talking real respectful, mild manner, man. Hey, bro, listen, bro. You dogging the black women. Like, we listen, stay out of politics and stick to talking about sports you never played. All right? Just stick to doing that, bro. We not going to vote for you if you talk. I heard you talking about running. You don't do that, bro. We not going to vote for you. No. No, we're not. But check this out, bro.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Stop, bro. Okay? You do not have the same energy for other people.
Shouts out to G-Mag TV for this video.
But you got a lot of energy for Braun and black women and not everybody else. Well, stop it. I know a lot that y'all don't know from being in this business, but staying solid will always keep you blessed. You won't live a life of looking over your shoulder. You won't live a life of damn, why I did that, and I can never.
We'll stop that right there. But yeah. How do you all feel about Stephen A. Smith? Do y'all think that he's more harsh towards black people, black women, than he is with other people? Is this a pattern? And I mean, was he conciliatory to Alexis Ohanian? I mean, when you say something, and if you all don't know, basically what Stephen A. Smith said was when Serena was on stage at the Super Bowl with Kendrick Lamar, basically she was up there to be spiteful towards Drake, who Kendrick Lamar was in a rap battle with. And Stephen A. came out and said that, you know, that's not something that a woman should be doing. A married woman shouldn't be basically joining in and trying to diss her ex. She should be worried about her husband. And a lot of people said that Stephen A. overstepped his boundaries in his comments about Serena Williams and her husband, Alexis Ohanian. He really never came out and said anything publicly about it. I don't think Serena said anything publicly about it as well. But Alex Ohanian went to the ESPN studios 3 days ago and basically ambushed Stephen A. on his show. What's going on, Jud? What's going on? Everybody that's in the audience, what's going on, YWG? What's going on, Jud? What's going on, Camille? The Bud Files, the usual suspects. But yeah, how do we feel about Stephen A. being G-checked live on his show? And is this a situation where Is this a situation where Stephen A. didn't have the same vitriol for Alex Ohanian coming on his show as he has had with other people, like Steven Jackson mentioned, LeBron. If you all remember, LeBron checked Stephen A. on the sidelines at a Laker game in a timeout. And Stephen A. came out and said that had LeBron done something, he would have swung on LeBron. Now, I'm thinking, would he have swung on Alexis Ohanian if he was in the studio that day and he got G-checked? Or would that be a thing? Oh, I'm not qualified. I'm a billionaire. I'm not qualified. How do you all feel about that? Did Stephen A. get G-checked? And was it different than how he talks about LeBron or how he called Jasmine Crockett loud, for the streets, from the streets? What type of comment is that? Coming from a black man about another black, about a powerful black woman. Why would he say something like that, but then really not have any comebacks when he got called out by Alexis Ohanian on his show? Okay, YWG. But yeah, I mean, why would he come out and say that about LeBron, saying that, you know, if LeBron had done something, I would have swung on LeBron. And come on, man, you wouldn't have swung on LeBron. Just like you wouldn't have swung on Alex Ohanian. You didn't even buck up. And usually, you know, Stephen A. is one where he will go down on the sword for things that he has said, but he didn't go down on the sword that day. He didn't argue his point of what he said about Serena to Alex Ohanian, as he had done on his show, saying that, you know, she shouldn't have been up on stage and things. He didn't argue his viewpoint. He basically tucked his tail and said, "Oh, I'm not qualified to speak on that." Stephen A., please don't run for president. I don't know who is telling you that. I don't know what conservatives are telling you that you are the voice of Black America, please don't do it. Please do not do that, Stephen A. Smith. You waffle on too many things. I mean, that's the political way to waffle on a lot of things, but no, Stephen A., don't run for president. I guess they're going to have you in the primaries going against The Rock. I wouldn't even vote for The Rock for president, so, and I'm most definitely not going to vote for Stephen A. But how do you all feel about that? Is that something that, is it a pattern? Do you all believe that it's a pattern with Stephen A. where he goes hard at Black people, but he kind of softens his stance for others? There are people who have said that, when they are looking into to different criminal activities that have, there are people that say that Stephen A. goes hard on Black athletes when they do things. Like he kind of went hard on Shedeur when Shedeur got the speeding ticket back in the summer. But then you had I think there was a lineman that played in the league. I'm sure he's not in the league anymore. But this lineman basically beat up and raped a Black woman. And it wasn't newsworthy how other criminal activities of people in the NFL are. It didn't get covered a lot. And there are people that say Stephen A. didn't report that the way that he should. But is it a case of Stephen A. can only do so much? He can only say so much? Or is it that sometimes he misplaces his statements and the vitriol that he has towards certain individuals, where he should have that same vitriol for others? Is that something that we're talking about? Is that the pattern that we're seeing with Stephen A.? And if that is the pattern, and he's always done that, how did he grow to the heights of where he is now? Or is this the case of you got to look as you're going up the ladder, don't forget the people that you left behind, and now he's on his way back down, and now those people aren't helping him? Is it one of those types of situations? What do you all think? And was Steven Jackson right in his assessment?
People always think I'm this, like always stay silent.
Was Steven Jackson right in his summary of Stephen A.? I'm asking you all. What do you all think? We're 33 minutes into the show. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video out. Now, I will say this, that I will be teaming up with Matt Crees and the Lab Addicts. It's the people who came up with my intro music. I'm going to be teaming up with them for a giveaway. Matt Crees has a new single that is playing in London, England. There's a DJ that we've been knowing for 30 years, DJ Sides. Shouts out to DJ Sides in the UK. Matt Crees has a single that is playing in the UK right now. It's going to be getting released in the United States as well. He's working on a video to support the song, and we're going to be teaming up to do a giveaway. We've had some early discussions about what the giveaway will involve and what it is, but I'm sure there's going to be one giveaway for women and there's going to be one giveaway for men. So stay tuned for that. I will be teaming up with Lab Addicts Production and Matt Crees for a giveaway to support his new single that is playing in the UK right now. So be on the lookout for that. Steven like buttered biscuits. Oh man, I don't know what you mean by that one, but yeah, I am one that will say that it is a pattern. I am a person who used to religiously watch First Take at 5 o'clock. And then I will watch PTI at 5:30 with Mike Wilbon and I can't think of the other guy's name. Michael Wilbon comes on 5:30. But as Stephen A. grew, the tone and how he went at people kind of changed. And I kind of got away from that. I don't want to look at somebody yelling and screaming all day long. It's not something I. And so now I kind of watch it sparingly. I watch it sometimes, but I have seen that pattern. I have been one that has said that Stephen A. does hold black people, and you know, a lot of black people say, "Well, I hold black people to a different degree of. I hold black people accountable more than I hold white people accountable because I'm black." No, I think you can hold people accountable more, but you don't have to publicly chastise them like you're a father figure or you're omnipotent or you're without wrong. And that's where I kind of get disenchanted with Stephen A. And I watch him sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I still like Stephen A. But yeah, some of his stances and some of the things he says kind of turn me away from him. But I do see that pattern, and I wanted to speak on that tonight. But yeah, Stephen A., man, you're gonna have to do something, brother. You're gonna have to do something to change up how you chastise black people, and then you're very, very conciliatory to others when you get called out. Yeah, because you and LeBron have been going back and forth for over a year, and the way that you talk to LeBron is not the way that you talk to Alexis Ohanian. We will point that out. So Stephen A., it's time to look in the mirror, remember where you came from, and remember who your supporters are. When you start talking about your supporters in a negative light, that's when you lose support. So, Stephen A., think about that. Black people aren't trying to tear you down. We want you to stay on top. But come on, brother. You have to be... The observations that you have for one should be the observations that you have for all. But this, we're gonna move on. We're gonna get to I'm gonna save Shedeur Sanders for last. We're gonna skip that. We're gonna go straight to Black Americans who are in support of Donald Trump's city takeovers, which have not happened in Republican cities. Which is I didn't know that crime was associated with political party. I didn't know that Democrats rob and steal more than Republicans. I didn't know this. I didn't know that crime and punishment was tied to what political party you're in. But just based off of what Donald Trump has been doing across America, there are no Republican-led cities on his list of cities to take over and to clean up, as he says. April Showers. How you doing tonight, April Showers? But yeah, there are some Black people who agree with Donald Trump's takeover of Democratic-led cities. Now, the Black people who are coming out in support have basically said that they've been yelling and screaming at the Democrats to clean up their neighborhoods, to get the drug dealers out, to get the prostitutes out, to clean up the schools, to make it safe for children to play at playgrounds. They're saying this, and they're saying that none of this happened until Donald Trump came and took over the cities, starting with Washington, D.C. I think they're in Memphis now. April Showers, who is from Chicago, she said the citizens have been wanting help. And a lot of people see the takeovers of these cities as something that is needed and necessary. Now, you all see that the light tone keeps changing. That's because the football game is playing on the screen, and it looks like the Bengals, who are winning 14-10, are about to score again with 30 seconds left in the half. April Shower says she doesn't like Trump, but she does agree with his stance on immigration. But April Showers, being that you are in Chicago, do you agree, or do you think it's a good thing that Donald Trump is coming in and taking over the city to clean up the criminal activity, the criminal element that is going on there in Chicago? Do you agree with that? Do you think that it's a good thing that he's coming and he's trying to clean up these neighborhoods? There are lots of Black people who live in these neighborhoods. Yes, Chirac, that is what they call Chicago, Chirac, because it is so bad there. And there are people that are frustrated with the Democratic way of doing things, and they feel that this is necessary for Donald Trump to come in with the National Guard to clean up the city. Here in Cincinnati, we have our own issues. There was a shooting at Fountain Square, which is in the middle of the city. There's a fountain, and lots of people congregate there. It's a place where they have free concerts. They have lots of different activities at Fountain Square. And the other night, a person, basically with the police standing about 20 yards away, a person pulled out a gun and shot two people in the square, brazenly. And there have been calls for the chief of police to resign. There have even been people that say that the mayor is more culpable for what is going on than the police chief. The police chief can only do so much. You can't, people are going to commit crime. We know this. But there are people that are saying that, needs to be cleaned up. I think that there are cities I don't think Black crime is bad, but Black crime is not the precursor to what's going on in America right now. It's not the precursor to what's going on. The precursor to what's going on now is people don't have jobs. They don't have money. And when you have lots of people, Black, white, Spanish, Eastern European, when you have people that don't have money, they find money. When people don't have money, you have more robberies, you have more muggings, you have more assaults. People don't have jobs. And we're getting closer to the holiday season, and nobody wants their children not to have a good holiday, even if it means messing up someone else's holiday. So I ask again, is it a good thing what Donald Trump is doing by going into these cities and cleaning up the criminal element? There are it's not 100% that Black people are mad at this. There are lots of Black people who agree with what Donald Trump is doing. They might not agree with all of his policies or some of the stuff that he's done as a president, but they agree that there's a problem and maybe the National Guard is necessary to fix it. April Shower said it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing that Donald Trump is coming into Chicago and cleaning up. And they say that there are black people in Memphis, Tennessee, which is supposed to be the next city that Donald Trump has said there will be a cleanup. There are people in Memphis, black people, who are saying, please, Donald Trump, come clean up our city. April Shower said, crime will not go away, but when you can't drive down certain streets because you might get carjacked, Chirac, then off the chain. And I will say this, I have been going to Chicago all my life. I have family that lived in Inglewood in the South Side. I used to be on 68th and Winchester at least 5 or 6 times out of the year over the summers. I know my cousin had a hydrant wrench. We used to take the hydrant cap off and everybody would be playing in the water in the middle of the street. These are things that you do in Chicago. At least one person on every block has the hydrant wrench so that when it gets hot, they can take the cap off the hydrant and people can cool down. So yeah, I know about Certified. I know about Jay's Fried Chicken. I know Chicago and Chicago Wild. I seen some of the first time I ever seen someone get killed was in Chicago when I was 8 years old. A man got shot in the head, couple right down the street from me. I saw the man get shot and saw him fall down, but I was too young and my parents wouldn't let me go down to where see what happened. But yeah, Chicago was a lot of firsts for me. I've seen a lot of things. I know about the Inglewood community. I know about Black Pea Stones. I know about these things. And Chicago is a nice city, but yeah, there are bad elements to Chicago. And like April Shower said, there are people who want to be able to go outside and sit on their porches and play in their front, that have their children play in the front yards without worrying about getting shot and killed. Yes, my cousins went to Simeon. Yes, so I know about Chicago. And Chicago is bad. And the government administrations in Chicago have not been listening to the complaints of the people. And some people, like April Showers, are happy that someone is doing something to make the neighborhoods safer. And I'm having this conversation because you all know I have no skin in the game when it comes to this presidential election. I didn't vote for either one of them. I'm independent. But there are viewpoints. There are people who agree with what Donald Trump is doing and are happy that there is military intervention to clean up their neighborhoods and to make it safe for children. YWG said, the military, through the Constitution, cannot operate as the police inside of the U.S., only support with no arresting powers. I don't think that they're arresting people, but they are holding people until the proper authorities are there. The military, YWG said, the military, through the Constitution, cannot operate as the police inside of the United States of America. They can only be there to support with no arresting powers. YWG said, using the military as authoritarian. Yes. There will be protests this weekend. There will be not a king protest going on this weekend. I know they're having one in Louisville. I'm not sure where there are other cities that, but yes, the not a king protests will be starting up again this weekend because there are people who believe that Donald Trump believes he is king. The question I'm asking is, even though you don't agree with Donald Trump's platform, what he's doing, is it possible to agree that maybe there needs to be intervention in these cities with high crime rates? Is that something that can, even though there's a disdain for Donald Trump, there are people that believe he is a criminal in the office. Is there somewhat of agreement that it's good what he's doing in terms of policing, or is it bad? I want to know what you all think. Can you not agree with Donald Trump's policy, but agree that there needs to be something done in these cities with high crime rates? April Shower said, baby, anytime they rob the elderly in broad daylight, doing mash and grabs in broad daylight, rappers getting killed in broad day, she don't care. She don't give a F who comes in and cleans it up. And I think that April Shower's sentiments are the sentiments of a lot of people who have to deal with crime on a daily basis. No one should have to deal with crime or the criminal element on a daily activity. Nobody. And the black people who do agree with Donald Trump and what he's doing, I mean, do you all see that as a negative? I do not. April Shower says she don't give up about Trump, but she appreciates his help. YWG said, folks better be careful with this fool in the White House because he is a habitual line stepper. Yeah, he is a habitual line crosser. That he is. He is a habitual line crosser. And China came out today. They not playing. China said they got a nuclear bomb with 6. They call the bomb 61. That's the name of the bomb, 61. It is a bomb with 60 nuclear warheads and 1 hydrogen bomb in 1 bomb. And they said that it can reach any corner of the world within 20 minutes and it can't be stopped, and it's bringing destruction. And the Chinese prime minister specifically called out America and Donald Trump today. 61. You don't believe? Look it up. Look up Chinese bomb 61. And they'll tell you it's a bomb with 60 nuclear warheads and 1 hydrogen bomb. And China's prime minister said that China is the only country that has a hydrogen bomb. I don't know about that, but China's sticking their chest out right now. See, YW got my man Gino from the West Coast, from the Bay, from the East. Yeah, he said he agrees. I can agree on that. I got kids. Yeah, I think people that have children agree with some of the things that Donald Trump is doing because it makes for a better living, a better standard of living. If you don't have to wake up every day and worry about guns and getting shot, going to school is a good thing. Because in Louisville, people are getting shot at the bus stop trying to go to school. Yes, people are getting killed and shot at the bus stop in the morning trying to go get an education. And for some students who are going to school, they're not just going to school to get an education. That is the only place where they can get good, well-balanced meals. Yeah, the person that sent me that message, yeah, I know I look tired. Chill out. It was a rough day. I had a lot of work. Got a lot accomplished today. This is a look of production and accomplishment. Yeah, I'm tired, but the party don't stop. YWG said, Tom Donald isn't bringing in the military to help you. He is doing this because of and only for political reasons. YWG, and I'll ask you this, YWG. Even though he's doing it for political reasons, is it good if he's cleaning up? If he's cleaning up the cities, is that a good political reason to do what he's doing? Is his political reason for doing this valid? For going in and cleaning up these cities? April Shower said, all politicians are liars, cheaters, and thieves. Okay, April Showers, okay. YWG said, I look at the big picture. And this government is operating on a methodical level. You might say a diabolical level. But I will say this, in all of the diabolicalness of this administration, is it good he's cleaning up those black neighborhoods? YWC said, all money is not good money. As we come up on an hour in the show, hit the like button. It gets me into the algorithm. I'm trying to grow. You all are helping me grow the page, but hit the like button so I can get into the algorithm. But yes, Juggernaut said, yes, he needs to clean up the water and give people help. Now, we're not sitting here and we're not agreeing with the Republican Party. They are the reason that there's a shutdown. Make no doubts about that. They have the president, the Congress, the Senate, and the House of Representatives, full Congress. They are the reason there's a shutdown. They have all the power. So make no mistakes about that. The Republicans are at fault for the shutdown. They have all the power. The Democrats can't do anything. They have all the power. I don't know what April Shower said. Diabolical, really gay marriage. Yeah, that's diabolical. That's I'm one, you love who you want to love, but yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, they have the executive branch and the congressional branch and the Supreme Court. They're the reason that there's a shutdown. There's no other way to look at it. They have the Supreme Court. They have the executive office with President Trump. They have the House of Representatives. They have the majority. They have the majority in the Senate. There's no way for them to throw blame on the Democrats. The Democrats have no power. They just riding the wave. And they're using the shutdown as a fighting mechanism. Now, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that the Democrats do either. But everybody should have health care. And I'm always going to be a firm believer that every American should have health care. I'm never going to not go with health care. Everybody needs a doctor. People in their 40s and 50s are dropping dead like flies. And that's because lots of people don't have primary care physicians. PCP. Not the bad PCP. Primary care physician. Lots of people don't have that. Black men are dropping dead in their 40s and 50s. We just saw D'Angelo, the multi-platinum recording artist, died of pancreatic cancer, 51 years old. Lots of black men are not making it to 60 years old. Lots of black men are not making it to 60 years old. Everybody needs health care. So I agree with the Democrats in their fight to get everyone health care, but I agree with Donald Trump going in and cleaning up the cities. I'm for the betterment of society. Repubs like eugenics. I mean, they like eugenics, but I mean, Bill Gates' parents is the people who are the creators of eugenics, and they're Democrats. So hey y'all, we're having this conversation, and I'm just pointing out that there are black people out. You know, a lot of people want to castigate and say that nobody black is in support of Donald Trump, and if you're in support of Donald Trump, then you ain't black. I don't believe that, because there are people in America that are happy with him cleaning up the criminal element that has been pervasive for years. We didn't just start talking about how bad Chicago was. We didn't just start talking about how bad Memphis is. We didn't just start, and you know, they're not talking about it. Arkansas is a Republican state. They're not talking about Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and Little Rock, Arkansas. There's lots of stuff that goes on in Republican cities as well. But Trump is choosing not to target those cities, but to go after Democratic cities. That's what he's choosing to do. Now, okay, Juggernaut said, Trump has political Munchausen syndrome, creating problems and then making things better to make himself look like the savior. That is the second time today that I have heard someone say that Trump is the political Munchausen syndrome person. There are a lot of people that say he creates his own problems to fix them, and like Jug said, look like the savior. Is that what Donald Trump is doing with the cities that he's going to clean up? I don't think he created those problems in those cities. He's going to clean them up, but I understand what you're saying, though. Donald Trump does kind of create some issues, and then he fixes them and says, I'm the best. Hit the like button. We're an hour and 4 minutes into the show. We're talking about Donald Trump right now and how some African Americans, some indigenous black people agree with Donald Trump going into their cities and cleaning them up. April Showers. She said that children should be able to go outside and play. And she doesn't agree with Donald Trump as the president, but she agrees with him coming in to clean the neighborhoods of Chicago up. Gino came in. He lives on the West Coast. He said he agrees with it too, because he has children. And his children, he wants his children to be able to go outside and play without fear of bullets flying over their heads while they're playing. I think that's I think that anybody wants that for their children and for their neighborhood. I think we let the politics blind us from seeing that maybe this is a good. I ain't agreeing with going in, and some cities need we know this. Some cities are outgunned by the criminals. Some city police forces are outgunned by the criminal element that is pervasive. And if you need the military, and I understand what you're saying, YWG, by the Constitution, they do not have arrest rights, but they can go in and still clean up. Wow. His dad should have pulled out. Okay, YWG. Okay. I mean, yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. YWG said Trump's mama should have pulled out. Her pullout game wasn't good. His dad's pullout game wasn't good. Well, okay, YWG. Jug said he's cleaning up the streets, but what about the schools and the healthcare system? What happened to his view on local government to handle their own states? Right, states' right. He has trampled states' rights. He has trampled state rights. I will agree. State rights are supposed to but like Juggernaut and like YWG have said, this is a different type of administration. There's so much bad being done, and sometimes it's bad that's even being done to fix the good stuff. That is the dilemma. Do you take the overtures from someone that you don't like? Do you take overtures from someone that you don't like? In the political arena, yes, you do. It's necessary. It's necessary to be able to go to the table and to negotiate, even with people you don't like. These are things that are necessary. Juggernaut said, right. So allowing him to put his big toe in your state, come 2028, he'll have his foot up your ass. It's a plan of a takeover. Okay, Jug. Everybody's opinion is warranted on Adult Conversation with Maas. There is no bad opinion because it gives us something to talk about. It gives us a different point of view. Don't be afraid to say what's on your mind in the chat on Adult Conversation with Maas, because I want your individual feelings to come out. I want to see them. Everybody wants to see them so we can talk about them. Maybe there's something in what you say that will resonate with everybody. But you never know if you don't say nothing. But yeah, Juggernaut's wild. I can see that. But I'm a believer that just like people jumped and voted Republican because of their disenchantment with the Democratic Party, I think that there are people that are already disenchanted with the Republican Party and with the way that Donald Trump is running the country, that I don't think the Republicans have a chance to win the next election. I don't think they have a chance to win. Now, that's just my feelings, because I think that I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna have to come back to it. But I'm a firm believer that you have to work with the people you don't like. It's necessary. We don't have to agree 100%, but we need to come to a consensus. And the consensus right now is that no, the consensus isn't that black people disagree with what Donald Trump is doing, because there are people like April Showers, like Gino, who agree with certain things that Donald Trump is doing, but don't agree with everything. And I think that's with any political party. Even if you're a Democrat, you didn't agree with everything that Sleepy Joe did, but you allowed him to do what you allowed him to do. It's how I see it. You got to take the good with the bad and hope that there's more good than bad, because life is not all good and it's not all bad. It's cyclical. It's cyclical. It's cyclical. Now we're going to move on to our last topic of tonight, which is Shedeur Sanders. And basically what's been going on in Cleveland and the political nature of everything that surrounds it. Because from the outside looking in, it looks like you have an owner who wanted Shedeur Sanders and a general manager and a coach who didn't want Shedeur Sanders. And the owner's always going to win because the coaches were mad that the owner traded Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals because basically he put the time clock on Shedeur Sanders. Like, you're going to play Shedeur Sanders this year because we need to know what we have. And the coach doesn't want to play Shedeur Sanders because Shedeur wasn't the quarterback he wanted. He wanted Dylan Gabriel. And if Shedeur comes in and plays better than Dylan Gabriel, it's probably going to get fired, which I think Stefanski is going to get fired anyway. He's a dead man walking on the sideline. I don't think he's the coach next year, and I don't think Dylan Gabriel is there next year. I think the owner is going to fire the coach, fire the general manager, trade Dylan Gabriel, and give the reins to Shedeur Sanders. He just got to go through purgatory this year. That's how I see it. Because they have the number one pick next year, supposedly. They have 2 picks in the top 5 or whatever next year. They can package Dylan Gabriel with a pick and come up on a bunch of picks to make their team better. I think that's what's going to happen because you have an owner that wanted Shedeur Sanders and you have a staff, a general manager, a coach who didn't want him, and they chose an inferior player 2 rounds before they took Shedeur. And if they play Shedeur and he's better than Dylan Gabriel, which he is, he's going to get fired, but he's going to get fired anyway. He's going to get fired anyway. He's going to get fired anyway. And my thing is the owner is looking at the dollars and the cents. If Shedeur Sanders starts, when they announce that Shedeur Sanders is going to start a game, it's going to be a sellout. And when that happens, Shedeur's not coming out of the starting lineup because people want to. He has encultured himself to the community of Cleveland. Cleveland loves Shedeur. So that's the way I see this playing out. Is Dylan Gabriel gets traded, the general manager gets fired, and the coach gets fired. And then the owner gets what he wanted, which was Shedeur Sanders to play. Because Shedeur Sanders is going to put butts in seats, and butts in seats equals green, dead white men in somebody's pocket. April Shower said, all the presidents have good and bad. Right, April. Yeah, they loved, exactly, April Showers. They loved Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe was the worst president in a long time. He was too old to be president. He was senile, and somebody had their hand in his back like a puppet. Juggernaut TV, they saved so much money on Sanders, they can fire the coach now if they wanted to and keep it moving. Right. The season is still, yeah, you're right. They're going to fire the coach. They're going to fire the general manager. And I think they're going to trade Dillon Gabriel so that Shedeur can have the reins, and they're going to bring in the veteran to be his backup. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be a total regime change in Cleveland. Coach, general manager, and starting quarterback is all going to be gone next year. But that's what happens. You have the free will to do whatever you want to do. There's consequences to everything. You should have took Shedeur Sanders in the third round. He wouldn't be in the situation he's in right now. But you absolutely right, Juggernaut. They saved a whole bunch of money on Shedeur Sanders. A bunch of money. And they're going to fire the coach, and they're going to keep it moving. And Shedeur, you go through purgatory. Sometimes it's better that he didn't play this year. Sometimes it's better to watch from the sidelines to understand what it means to be a professional. Now, I'm not understanding how Shedeur can, because he's got a rookie that's playing in front of him, but there's some analytical information that says that not playing your first year as a rookie quarterback is better on your career because you get to look at how things move from a visual point of view as opposed to getting beat up for 16 games. YWG says, I don't think he's number 3. I think he's the backup now. He's the backup. Because they only have 2 quarterbacks, I think. Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur. I think they got the other guy, but he's emergency. Shedeur Sanders will play by week 8. And I think, damn, that's a big old dude. Is that DJ Metcalf? Man, DJ Metcalf look like a lineman. Dang. This dude like a lineman. Oh, that's a big dude. Number 80, Washington for the Steelers, man. He looked like a man. What? Wow. Zappy so Shedeur Sanders isn't the number 2 quarterback. Oh, man. Stefanski, you're getting fired, man. Stefanski, you're getting fired. Stefanski, you're terrible. You're a terrible coach, Stefanski. You're going to get fired. Stefanski, he's supposed to be some quarterback guru. He hasn't made one quarterback better. Stefanski is a terrible coach. It's time for him to go. It's time for Cleveland. Cleveland, get a real coach, man. Get a real coach. Get a real coach. Wow. Who's number 3? Zappy? So Shedeur is quarterback number 2? He is the backup? Because that would be like a slap in the face to bring Zappy in and put Zappy as a number 2 and put Shedeur as a 3, man. That's Shedeur, your time is coming, brother. Your time is coming. Your time is coming. Many people have been History has shown that America can't buck break everybody. And there's something about going through purgatory and coming out on top. I'm rooting for Shedeur Sanders. He's gonna make it happen. He's gonna make it happen. There's something a little different. Like we had 3 different topics. Yeah, we talked. Tomorrow is Friday, and there will be a sex show. There will be a sex show tomorrow night. 100% promise you all there will be a sex show tomorrow night. We will have a sexual topic for us to break down. It's always fun when we do the sex show. Tomorrow night, 11 p.m., sex show. But yeah, be on the lookout for the giveaway. Matt Crees, Lab Addicts, and Maas Apeal. We're going to have a giveaway coming up to support his new single that's playing in the UK that will be playing in the United States. He's working on the video for the song right now. And y'all know when the video gets done, I'm going to try to... If I get cleared, I can play the music. So when Matt Crees' video comes out for his new single, we will play it here first. Be on the lookout. I'm not sure if it's going to be on Tuesday show or next Thursday show, but we will be having a giveaway sponsored by Matt Crees and Lab Addicts. He's got a new store up. He's got some merchandise. Look Matt Crees up. MAC space CREEZ. Look Matt Crees up. Go to his one-stop shop. Get some of his merchandise. Yeah. Wow. YWG said he wants tomorrow's show to be how many pumps is enough. That might be a good topic for tomorrow. How many pumps is enough? Well, we know you only give 50. You said you only give 50 pumps, so we know 50 is your max. But we're gonna ask the ladies how many pumps is enough for them. We already know you only give 50 pumps and then your battery dies. Yeah, you got that. Yeah, you got that. You got them dollar store batteries. 50 pumps and you're done. That's your boy YWG. 50 pumps. But yeah, we will be back tomorrow night with the sex show. I wanted to cover several different topics tonight. There wasn't really one topic that stood out. But yeah, I'm back. I told y'all I'm back. I'm gonna be back. Yeah, so we're gonna get YWG some energizers so 50 pumps ain't his max no more. But yeah, it's your boy Maas Apeal. It's been another edition of Adult Conversations with Maas. We'll be back tomorrow night with 50 pumps and the sex show. I'm out.
Lab Addicts Music Group.
Time it is. This is Conversations with Maas. Subscribe now.